gotta be an idiot to bet on that parlay.
It's DTF or bust.
Put it on my mama's porch tomorrow.
Welcome to Hold My Bet podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Park. Here with me, as always, the one, the only, DTF. Dylan, how's it going?
Yo, Monday Night Football. Yo. What's up?
Kansas City, what happened?
How could you lose to the Philadelphia Eagles? I'll tell you what, I'm pumped about this loss. You know, we like Travis Kelce. We like watching the Chiefs. But the Browns are now half a game from first place in the playoffs. I would love to see the Browns somehow sneak into first place. I don't think the Ravens are going to let that happen. I don't think the Chiefs are going to let that happen. But if there was a universe where it happens, how great would that feel?
What if season 2? But yeah, and overall, it ended up seeming like it was a good game last night. I watched all the way up till the fourth quarter, and I somehow managed to find myself on the couch with a Happy Dad in my hand at 3:30 this morning. So
Beautiful.
yeah, looked like MVS had a very crucial catch that he didn't make at the very end of the game. Even though I saw Tyreek Hill come to his defense afterwards, because let's be honest, that is hard if it's a high pass like that at a night game with all those lights blinding you. So, shit happens. Just because they're a professional football player doesn't mean that they're not human.
Oh, it happens.
It does. Big win for the Eagles, though. Now they're 9-1, and the Chiefs are 7-3. They join us in basically the rest of the AFC, which is still very competitive.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Browns, the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and is it the Jaguars?
Yes.
All sitting at 7-3. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Ravens are now the number 1 seed. They're the only team with 8 wins.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy stuff. This whole playoff picture, it's up for anyone. One game can make a huge difference in the seeding.
Yeah. Well, that's going to go into a play when we talk about the Broncos-Browns game this weekend. I think this game is really pivotal for our season.
It is. Absolutely. But like Dylan said, we get into that later on in the podcast. But Dylan, there's just a couple of things that I want to mention that we didn't get to earlier in the podcast. So one thing being, sorry, someone from work just texted me. One thing being that the Browns are the reason now that Matt Canada finally got fired. So you're welcome.
We broke him.
Steelers fans. Yes, we officially broke him.
Yes.
And 2, did you see what Jason Tatum's nickname is in China?
Baby Rabbit, or what was it? Cute Rabbit?
Cute Rabbit.
Cute
Rabbit. He said, he said, I could see it.
Well, yeah, he looks like a rabbit.
Yeah, he does kind of look like a rabbit. Peter the Rabbit. I thought that was funny to mention on here. Did you see what Big Ben said about this game, the Browns and Steelers game?
Yes, but he's just mad. He's very mad.
Yeah, Poe's mad.
The only time you say something like that's your Super Bowl is when you're super mad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when someone's ultimately just super pissed off.
Yeah. No, I heard it, and I haven't listened to the podcast yet. I do actually listen to his podcast every week just to have an unbiased opinion of the NFL. I like to hear what Steelers fans, including Ben Roethlisberger, have to say about the Browns. He's kind of been the same Ben Roethlisberger as always, just doesn't give the Browns any credit. It's actually insane just how true to the Steelers he is. Like, he does not budge. No flowers given, but whatever. I mean, haters gonna hate.
Well, I know he's always had a grudge against the Browns because they didn't draft him when they could have. And he's an Ohio guy, too.
That's true. That is true.
But yeah, other than that, we had a great Monday night football game. Can't wait to get into Thursday night football this week. We got Thanksgiving. We're gonna hopefully have Jason back on to go over our preview for the week.
Yes.
Even though all these games are all spread out, so we got Thursday night football, we got Friday night football.
I'm excited for Friday. I think it's gonna be a good game, despite it being Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle, yeah. I'm excited for it. Something different. I always thought football was best played on Fridays.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Sundays, but
yeah, but we'll get into that with Jason. I can't wait. Can't wait to have the lad back on. Can't wait to get into some Thanksgiving food and Thanksgiving football. Brandon, what are you most thankful for this year before we sign off for the next set of games?
I'm most thankful for my little family that I have, and I'm most thankful for you being the best co-host in the world.
Wow. That's way better than what I was going to say.
Oh.
I was just gonna say that I was thankful for the big cock.
Oh.
No, I'm thankful for my little family as well. Obviously, this past year has been crazy. My girlfriend and I have bought a house. We are living in what we call our first house. It's like there's a lot of projects, but we're having so much fun with it all. And work is good, podcast is good, family's healthy, the doggos are healthy. There's nothing to complain about right now. Things are just good and blessed, and we just can't wait for what's to come in 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. Got one more month.
Yeah, I can't wait. I already miss golf.
Caitlin will be a big girl now.
A big girl? Okay,
yeah,
so
she'll be done with school. Yeah. She'll be a big girl.
That's good for her.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, we'll go ahead unless Dylan has something else. Dylan, was there anything else you wanted to mention?
Did anything else come out through the night that we had to talk about? Let me just double check. It was reported last night that superstar Travis Kelce says he thinks about retirement more than anyone could imagine. Basically,
I did see that.
Basically, with all his injuries and surgeries he's had, he just thinks that now more than ever, with winning multiple Super Bowls and establishing that he's arguably one of the greatest tight ends in the history of football, that he'd be going out on top. I could see him and Jason both retiring at the end of this year if they both don't win the Super Bowl, or if they both don't make the Super Bowl. I think if Jason goes to the Super Bowl and the Chiefs don't and the Eagles win, I could see Jason retiring and Travis just kind of following suit. But that's really all I had left. They've both had a hell of a career, so
and they're gonna have a hell of a career off the field too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, New Heights is just at the beginning of its career, so New Heights is going to flourish. They're going to still give great opinions and feedback despite not being on the field. So that's all that I got.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know why Travis Kelce always reminded me of one of those people. When he retires, he'll still come back.
Oh yeah, he'll be on the media booth. Well, they both could be on the media booth. I mean,
well, I meant like I could even see him back on the field at some point.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the way I've always viewed him. Is he just kind of seems like he's very spontaneous.
Yeah.
That just one day he would think about coming back and he would be back.
I could see it like Gronk.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, other than that, you guys just stay safe this weekend or this week. I know Wednesday, it's one of the biggest drinking days of the year. Just remember to not be stupid on the road.
That's right. So we can take it to the ad break, and when we come back, we got the full recap slate of Week 11.
All right, let's go ahead and get into this week's slate. We had Week 11. We're going to start off strong with Thursday Night Football, which unfortunately the Bengals lost Joe Burrow for the season. Not a whole lot to talk about the game other than Joe Burrow, really. and the Bengals being screwed. But let's go ahead and talk about that. Dylan, I want to know your thoughts about the video of Joe Burrow walking into the game with a cast on his hand and him trying to hide it.
Well, it's not so much he was trying to hide it, but why was there nothing going into this week's game about him being potentially questionable for the game? It's just odd that he has this little, we'll call it a cast. He has a little cast on his arm, and goes into the week not 100%, goes into the game not 100%, leaves the game 0%, out for season. What?
Yeah, did you see the picture of his hand afterwards?
Oh yeah.
On it was? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't even grip the ball.
No. I mean, I saw a video too of him going to throw it and he was like wincing in pain at just tossing the ball on the sideline.
Yeah, that could be a very serious injury that could affect him the rest of his career if not handled correctly. So if that would have, who knows how long this has been happening? I know they said that this wrist injury supposedly happened last week.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I knew he was one hit away though. That's all it had to have been, was just one hit away. But Bengals fans, I hate to say it, your season's over. We know what it's like though. Not at the moment though.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment though. Did you get to watch much of this game?
The Ravens game?
Yeah.
No, so unfortunately, I'm afraid people are going to take my man card. On Thursday nights, Thursday Night Football is watched on my phone while The Golden Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise is on the big TV. That is what we watch on Thursday nights, is The Bachelor. It used to be Monday nights, but due to scheduling, ABC threw this on Thursday night because Monday Night Football. So it's been watched on my phone. And we had Loki and Gen V for the last 6 weeks. So Thursday nights have been jam-packed. Golden Bachelor is over after Thanksgiving, so I'll be back to my normal scheduled programming of watching Thursday Night Football for the next 7 weeks. But I watch it on my phone, so I'm in and out watching it while I'm watching the bigger TV. Once I saw Joe Burrow go out, though, I was like, there's no point in watching this game, especially with Mark Andrews going down too. That was also a big fall to see the big guy go down.
Yeah, and it also started a big controversy in the NFL about the hip or the drop hip tackle is what they call it.
Yeah.
There was an instance in the Florida State game this week. I think it's Jordan Travis, is it? If I'm not mistaken. Or Travis Jordan, maybe.
No, it's definitely Jordan. Let me pull it up.
I think it's Jordan Travis.
His name is Jordan Travis.
Yeah. Same incident happened with him, other than he broke his leg. It was pretty clear as day after it happened that his leg was broken. And they're trying to claim there was another one that happened this week. I can't remember what game it was, whether it was, what game was it? There was another game that happened in this week. I never even knew that people were debating whether they should ban that or not. I think it's kind of hard to avoid without, really nerfing defenses that much. It's just one of those inevitable things. I don't think people try to do it on purpose other than just trying to take them down.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it's avoidable to the extent as like leading with your head or anything like that. But I don't know. What do you think, Dylan?
I think if it's just a football play, it's probably clean. No one's deliberately going to injure somebody. You can always make the argument when you lead with your head, you're bound to get injured. And if it's not defenseless, it's hard to make an argument that it's a dangerous play. Just freak accidents happen. I mean, we will go down saying, Nick Chubb was headhunted, but ultimately it ends up being just a football play. Fitzpatrick didn't need to come in at the end of the play to do that, but freak accidents happen. So I'm not in the company of people who think that we should be nerfing defense. I think we should be getting more plays like Sean Taylor. That one highlight reel of the Pro Bowl. I think that we need to stop being so soft.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And, injury is part of the game, and I get keeping the players safe. I 100% agree with that. But you got to do it while not nerfing the game completely. Because to be honest, like defensive, I've said this multiple times on the podcast, like playing defense right now is almost harder than it's ever been because the rules benefit the offense so much.
Oh, yeah. You mean one of the biggest plays used to be getting a sack on the quarterback, and now you have to do it a certain way or it's going to be roughing the passer 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has to be one solid hit. You can't if it looks like you put any body weight on them, you're done. You're done for on that play. Which I'm simply not here for it. And maybe it'll change one day. I doubt it, but we can only hope for the love of the game.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really didn't have much from this game. Odell had a pretty big game for the Ravens. Whoop-de-doo, congratulations. But yeah, Ravens stay alive. They're still in first place. But now into this next AFC North matchup that happened this weekend. They're still only one game ahead of the Browns?
Half a game.
Half a game, yeah.
But I've looked at all the scenarios. It's going to take the Steelers either losing out or no. In order for us to win the AFC North, we have to win out, which is not very hard. We have one more game against the Bengals, week 18. The Ravens have to lose out, which would require them to lose week 18 against the Steelers. And if the Steelers beat the Bengals twice in the next 3-4 weeks, which they should, then they have to beat the Ravens. How'd that work out?
They have to beat the Ravens then, because they beat the Ravens once.
Yeah. But here's the problem: if they sweep the Ravens, the Steelers have only lost one divisional game this year, and it's against us. So they have to lose one game to Cincinnati in order for us to even think about going in first place. The Ravens would also have to lose out, but I think the Ravens, I think they only have one more game against the Steelers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I think they played Cincinnati one more time, don't they?
Nah.
They play them earlier in the year?
They played them week 2, and they just played them this week.
Oh, yeah, they did. That's right. I do remember.
So week 18 is really going to matter for us, whether the Ravens decide to run away with it or lose to the Steelers, and it's down to us and the Steelers. But really, our season for at least playoff seeding matters most if the Steelers win out. Realistically, I see them beating Cincinnati twice and losing to the Ravens, and the Ravens just winning and us having
a wild card. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm content with that. I don't want to say I'm content with it because I want to win the division, of course, but I I think as long as we're in the playoffs, we're still a threat. And I think we're one of those teams going to be in the wild card that no one wants to play.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So I'd rather be a pest than just be waiting on someone with momentum.
Yeah.
Which
I
kind
mean,
of
if
has
you
me
look at
worried about this week.
what's that?
It kind of has me worried about this week. We're playing, and
With
granted, we have momentum, but we're playing a team with big momentum too.
yes, and they're also in the hunt. Denver Broncos being in the hunt at 5-5. They've won 5 straight. I think that's what I think they've won legit 5 straight. But if we lose to the Denver Broncos this week, I'm not panicking because I've put the scenario in my head where realistically we can only lose about 3 to 4 more games, being at 7-3. That would put us at 10-7 at the worst. But I think we're going to be in the realm of 11-6 or 12-5. I think at best we're going to be 12-5.
Yeah. So you think we're going to lose 2 more games?
I think we potentially lose, if not this week, we're going to lose to the Jags and the Texans. But I'm hopeful that we don't lose to the Texans. The Jaguars is the only game I'm actually worried about for the rest of the season, which would put us at 14 or 13-4.
So I'm actually confident about that Jags game because they're playing in the cold. They're going to be playing in the
Okay.
So I'm confident about that one. Houston, I think it's a 50-50 shot. I think they definitely have a better offense than us right now.
We have the better defense, though.
We have the much better defense. And with them having a rookie quarterback, granted, I think he's in the MVP conversation still this week. I just don't know if they have the tools. They have a rookie coach, but I feel like even a rookie coach can even give Stefanski a run for his money right now. Even though I think he's been doing a hell of a lot better this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you walk away losing to the Broncos this week, which I really hope we don't, but Russell Wilson has been playing really good. I mean, he's back to we'll call it his old self. We knew that him going under Sean Payton was going to be a lot different than playing under Nathaniel Hackett last year. This Broncos team is much better from even week 3 of this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a challenge. You're playing in high elevation. You're playing on the road after traveling. We are on the West Coast the next 2 games, being that we're in Denver and at the Rams in LA. I think LA we're going to be fine. But
Especially with Cooper Kupp being hurt now too.
Yeah. I mean, this trip is what I'm worried about this week. So hopefully we get through it. If we walk away winning this game, even if it's by an ugly 2-point spread, based on a field goal win or whatever, I'm going to feel pretty good going into the rest of the season. But you got to start to believe that we could win the rest of the season and be 14-3.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's unreasonable to think that. I don't think it's unreasonable at all to be thinking that as a Browns fan. Granted, do I think it's gonna be 14-3? No, I feel like we'll drop a game or so in between that. I think 12-5 is very reasonable. At minimum, I see them finishing 11-6.
Just go backwards, though. Let's go backwards from week 18 and back. You have Bengals with Jake Browning. That's a win.
And we're going to be playing starters because we'll need to secure that wild card spot.
Oh, yeah. You got Jake Browning. Week 17, you have the Jets with potentially Tim Boyle and or Trevor Siemian because Zach Wilson's done. He's done so.
Yeah, he's done. Might not get another opportunity.
No.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers definitely is not going to be coming back now. I would just tell him just be ready for next season.
There's no point coming back.
No, especially with the Achilles injury. If it was something a little bit less minor, like I can understand that, maybe come back. But yeah, at this point, just take your time and get ready to be in prime time next year.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, we have the Texans. What? Christmas Eve, we have the Texans. That's the one game I had said I'm worried about, but I think we win that one. The week before, that's the Bears. Bears are tanking. I'm
Yeah,
not worried about them whatsoever.
and we always do good against the Bears too, and our defense
Yeah.
is a lot better now. So
Oh yeah.
I'm not worried.
Jaguars, like you said, it's in the cold at home against the Jags. At Rams and then at Broncos. This rest of the season, I feel so good about it.
Yeah, literally the only one that I'm even half hesitant on is this week, and I still feel good about it. And Texans, but I think Texans is going to be a big challenge for us.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
it's gonna be okay. Are we legit? Are we gonna actually put up a fight in the playoffs, or are we just gonna be frauds and be a first round bounce?
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's a 81% chance of making the playoffs.
Yes. Yeah, and if the playoffs were to start today, Kansas City would have the bye. Baltimore, is there 9 teams or is it 7?
It would be
Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
So it's Baltimore would have the Steelers in the first round. Jacksonville would have the Houston Texans, and we would have the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, that would suck for me. Obviously, I'd much rather have the Browns win than the Dolphins, but man, that'd be something.
I think it'd be much different from last year's Dolphins game. Compared to how bad we lost last year, I think we would walk into this game with a whole new team, new coaching staff. We got, Fox
defense.
Yeah, upgraded defense. We got Joe Flacco.
Do you think that he's gonna be playing at all at any point for us?
I don't know. I have hopes that he will, because I think if we just play this right, he might end up taking us to the Super Bowl. I think it's not unreasonable to think that he could. I know everybody thinks he's shot, he's old, whatever, this and that. He couldn't throw last year.
Last year.
He beat us last year. I mean, he still was functional.
Well, first couple weeks of the season, he was leading the league in passing yards and
yeah. I mean, I don't understand. People say
he's not Joe Cool anymore, but he's he's still something.
I think this is a different spot in his career where he's going to be willing to help coach DTR, and if his moment comes, he'll go in over PJ Walker, and when he comes in, it'll be very game changing. Like, it's going to be a momentum shift for the rest of the season if he comes in. If he comes in, I don't see us losing.
Yeah, I don't see PJ Walker going back in anytime soon, unless it's DTR's playing so bad this week that they throw PJ Walker in. I don't expect Flacco to be playing this week at all.
No, I don't see Flacco coming in until actually yeah, I was going to say the Bears game.
Yeah.
The Bears game would be the perfect game for him to play, just to get him kind of acclimated. But yeah, I mean, if he came in that Bears game and finished the season out against the Texans, Jets, Bengals, and then you ride into the first playoff game, I don't see anybody stopping us.
Yeah, that's fair.
2023, 2024 just feels like our year. It felt like our year from the start of the season. You can take out Nick Chubb. You can take out Dick Watson. You can take out Wills. You can take out Conklin. You can take out Thornhill. You can give us a 5th round rookie quarterback, DeJuan Jones, limited play, but you cannot stop this train from rolling. This team is full of hungry dogs. The Cleveland Browns are going to be in the Super Bowl.
We can only hope. We can only hope.
Yes.
I'm here for it, but we can only hope. Regardless, Steelers fans, feel sorry for you. Not really. But
Steelers fans, suck it.
Yeah.
It's always been the Browns.
13-10. Kenny Pickett, official trash can on Twitter. Basically, a whole fan base has given up on him already, which I don't blame him because he's thrown ghost out there essentially. He had I don't know how many passes that I was like, thank God he sucks. And when he was hurt, I was actually pissed because I thought Trubisky was going to come in and they were going to do something good.
But and I was waiting for Mitch to come in.
Yeah, for Steelers fans, if I were you, I would want Trubisky to just finish out the season, give yourself a chance. Which sucks because, I know a friend of us on the show, he is friends with Kenny Pickett, and I'm sorry, he's just not him.
Not him.
Yeah. But enough about the Steelers. Oh, and also give Jalen Warren the ball. Anyways, next game we got Texans at Cardinals. Dylan, do you want to talk about this game? I don't want to talk about this game for gambling reasons.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch any of these 1:00 slate games. Obviously, being at the game, that's my one fault about going. But CJ Stroud had more yards by himself in the first half than any other team playing in the 1:00 slot. CJ Stroud looked amazing. They played great. And then the second half happened, and he had 3 interceptions, which on paper looks bad. But he said I think he said something along the lines of like when Steph Curry's shooting, he doesn't stop just because he's missing or something like that. So basically he's saying shoot or shoot, and he's a gunslinger. I've got no problem with this if they're winning. If they're losing or if he's just playing like shit, there's no reason why he should be just throwing the ball up. But he's got the numbers and the wins to back him up. So Kyler Murray, he's back. It's just not enough.
Nope, it wasn't enough for me. I needed 20 more yards. Everything else
That's it.
Parlay, 20 yards. And one of the plays got called back that would have hit.
Oh, geez. That's tough.
I got so excited for about a solid 2 minutes, and then I refreshed the page, and somehow magically those passing yards disappear.
Tough.
It was very, very tough.
Sorry to hear that. Well, Jaguars hosted the Titans. This was a fun one for Calvin Ridley, putting up 2 touchdowns. Fun for my fantasy team, giving me like 33 points. Jaguars 34, Titans 14. Will Levis, I'm not worried about him yet. He's a rookie. You got to give him time to get comfortable.
And you got to give him
Jaguars
to work with too.
With the line. Yeah. He's got nobody protecting him.
Yeah.
And Jaguars looked good against a bad team. Hard to tell if they're still fraud or not.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for pretty much the entirety of the rest of the season. I think that they're frauds, and I think they'll get exposed in the playoffs, just depending on what their matchup ends up finally being. Because for all I know, they could be matched up with the Houston Texans and somehow manage to get a playoff win. I don't think they would, though. I think actually Houston would win that game if it were today.
Oh, I do too.
But the Jaguars, I mean, even though I call them frauds, I still don't think they're anything to play with. You definitely gotta still take them serious because they're good enough. They can be good, but I don't think they're good enough overall on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Titans fans, just chill out. You guys, this is not your season. Go do something this offseason. That's all you can do. Go make some moves. Go build around Will Levis. Give him another year and see what you got.
Yeah.
But you got to get rid of your older players and, start replenishing them. Next, this game was a lot closer than I would have liked it to be, but I love the way these new Raiders are playing. Dolphins win 20-13. Tyreek Hill got hurt in this game, but I believe he ended up coming back.
Yeah, he said he should be fine. He said he just it sucks because he can't play Fortnite. It's funny when you listen to him talk, he cares more about gaming than he does football, but he's a freak athlete and is so good at football, but he would rather game.
Yeah, I mean he definitely makes some good money streaming too. So they also took out Achan after one rush
Saw it.
for a yard. Granted, they said that he could have came back, but they just kept him out because Achan wanted to come back in the game, but they just said no, just sit this one out. Mostert's got it. But yeah, 20-13. I do think the Raiders should at least be giving I don't want to mess up his name again. Antonio Pierce, correct?
Yep.
I fuck it
And
up.
is it Antonio or Anthony?
Oh, I think it's Antonio. Might be Anthony.
Oh, you're right, Antonio.
Okay. Okay. Phew. I think he at least deserves an interview. It seems like these players really like playing for him. And especially if they're gonna be still paying Gruden and McDaniels all that money to not be coaching their team in a way, sitting in Cancun. Yeah, I think it's worth going for, a cheaper option while you're looking to still rebuild, but yet still be somewhat competitive. So I think this game at least showed that. I still don't see the Dolphins making a deep playoff push now, though. I just don't.
No, I mean this is the first team that they've played that they've beaten that's had a 500 record. So the fact that it was that close worries me a little, but you move on from it. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. This next game, very little to talk about. Cowboys beat the Panthers 33-10.
They
It
whomped
actually,
them.
believe it or not, it was close until the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter it was done.
Yeah, they walked away on them at the end.
Yeah, because it was 17-10 in the fourth quarter, which I was kind of pleasantly surprised about. But they just got away from them after a pick six and many other scores. Bryce Young is still going to be starting as he should be. You got to let him go through this season, get banged, well, not banged up, but you got to let him learn from everything that's going on. Even though I worry about his development because I'm scared that this is going to, screw him up for the rest of his career. As Cam Newton said, you got to be careful with rookie quarterbacks. Because he might be in the same situation that Zach Wilson was in. Even though I think Zach Wilson was gifted a lot better, supporting cast than Bryce Young, because Carolina's a mess right now.
They don't have a lot going for them.
Yeah, I still am not afraid of the Cowboys though. They don't scare me at all.
We'll see how it goes.
They have zero rushing attack.
Yeah, I mean they've got a really tough schedule coming up, so they'll be exposed if they're fraud.
Yeah, we'll see them in the playoffs for sure. Well, not the Browns, but we'll be seeing them play in the playoffs. This game, I am so glad that it came out the way it did. The Lions came back on a crazy run to beat the Bears 31-26.
Yeah, they beat a 12-point deficit to come back and win. St. Brown is always putting up some decent numbers. Goff did not look as good as usually playing, but welcome back Justin Fields with over 100 rushing yards as a quarterback.
A running quarterback.
It just wasn't that glorifying looking at the score. I thought for sure there'd be bigger numbers from Fields, and it was just all his rushing.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
and I think that this shows that the Bears shouldn't be looking to draft a quarterback with their pick.
yeah.
Even though I'm not totally against it. I wouldn't mind seeing Justin Fields on a different team if they don't want to pass up Caleb Williams or anything like that. Or shoot, maybe look to trade if you have the number one pick again. Why not?
Yeah.
Get
No,
enough
for
for
sure.
a dynasty, even though it looks like you need the picks right now.
Yeah. With the Lions beating the Bears, that just pushes us 1 week closer to your Bob Evans steak dinner. We're getting closer to your steak dinner bet.
Am I getting it on a styrofoam plate?
Yeah.
I at least have salt.
No salt.
Oh,
All right, next game. Packers host the Chargers in another close game. The Packers walk away winning 23-20. Not what I was expecting.
no, not at all. Not at all. Brandon Staley should be getting fired. I don't know
I
how
think
it
he's the
hasn't happened yet.
I think he's the first to go before the season ends.
I don't know. I could see Reich happening beforehand.
Yes and no.
The Chargers have some kind of emotional attachment to Staley for whatever reason. And I don't quite understand it because they've choked a game in and game out, and it's just been clear as day. But they just stick with him.
Yeah.
Granted, their receivers really failed them this week, and I don't know why.
Well, Quentin Johnson dropping that pass
That was horrible.
was
He's been such a disappointment.
oh yeah, no for sure.
Such a disappointment so far. Very young in his career still, because yeah, I don't know about that team in general. Justin Herbert deserves better, and I hope that they can do something about that rather than just overpaying people in their 30s.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they can get that figured out and get him a good coach. Apparently Belichick's a name that's been mentioned there. I don't know how I see that working out together. I would rather see Belichick with the Commanders before the Chargers, I think. Even though he probably would have a better chance at winning with the Chargers. But you're also competing with Mahomes twice a year and for that division.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, gonna be very tough. Speaking of the Commanders, they lose in a sweep this season to the Giants. Tommy DeVito, have yourself a game.
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, went home to mom's dinner.
He went home to mom's spaghetti.
Yes. Saquon had 2 receiving touchdowns, not rushing touchdowns, but receiving touchdowns. And Sam Howell, a game that he'll want to forget. I still actually really like Sam Howell, and I think that they should be continuing with him going forward. What do you think? I think he's played overall good this year. I mean,
I think he's good. I think there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about yet. I think he's proved that he can, play well in pretty important games. It's just he's not finding ways to win. But I think a little bit has to do with the defense, and they just gave up Chase Young and Montez Sweat. I mean, 2 key factors of the defense are just gone.
Yeah, and I think my comparison for him right now of what I've seen is a juiced up Kirk Cousins that's aggressive and more mobile. It's not so much in his way of play. It's just, he's good enough. He can get you wins. But we just got to see him in the big games.
Yeah.
Next we had 49ers beating the Bucks 27-14. Brock Purdy had a perfect passer rating today.
Yeah, it was a really, really good game. Ayuk looks like a wide receiver 1. He's a wide receiver 1 on any other team. Christian McCaffrey back on his streak. Bucks kept it close though. I mean, it was a close game all the way through, but 49ers pulled away at the end. So that was a good game to watch.
Yeah. This next game, however, I don't know how much we really want to talk about it. Bills beat the Jets 32-6. Dylan, what do you want to say about it?
Yeah, the Bills can just thank the Jets for showing up. That's about all they did was show up.
Yeah, and making them look better than they are.
Yeah,
I really didn't think the Bills played that great.
No, they inflated their win by just playing a really shitty team.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say about that game.
And I feel bad for that Jets defense because it's definitely good enough to be making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then
These
we
next
had, go ahead.
No, I was to say these next two games were actually fun to watch because they were so close and right down to the end. But the Rams hosted the Seahawks, pulling away at the very last second with a come from behind field goal. The Rams end up winning by 17-16. Seahawks had a chance to win it. But did you watch that game?
After a crazy catch from DK Metcalf, and then Jason Meyer just shanks it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just shanked it.
You just hate to see it.
Yeah. And then last night's game ended up being a lot better. I mean, I knew it was going to be a kind of close game. Just Dobbs gave up an interception late in the game that was pretty costly. And ultimately lost him that game.
Yeah, I mean,
but I
Broncos
still have a ton of hope in him in the Vikings this year. They're still sitting nice in the AFC or NFC playoff picture.
Yeah, Dobbs they're gonna carry it out and finish it out strong. But Broncos win 5 in a row. Browns got them next week. It's gonna be a great game. I can't wait for it. It was a great week of football.
It was. But other than that, that's gonna go ahead and close us out tonight. Dylan, you got anything to say?
Gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have any problems. Love you guys.
Peace.